See what made it through the 18-degree temperatures and what didn't. It's Friday, April 24th, time for a garden update to see how well these plants did in temperatures as low as 18 degrees with 3 inches of snow the other night. I'll cut to some pictures right here showing the snow on the garden 2 days ago. All right. Hi, I just want to start right off that the purpose of these videos is more of a video recording so that I can go back over the year and check on the growth of the plants. I'm not the greatest note taker in the world. Yes, I've taken notes of when I planted seeds and when I put them into the beds and what beds I put them into and how many and all. But really, a video is a great way to go back over the year and take a look at your plants and see how well they did and see mistakes you made or things that you've done right and make improvements. But I want to go through the things I've done. I finished the one bed off. We'll take a look at that. I'm going to pull these covers off and we'll take a look at the plants and see what made it through the 18-degree temperatures and what didn't. So here's the latest bed. This is what I'm calling bed number 4. This is with the Miracle-Gro Performance Organic soil. You can see that I do have some New York early onions planted in here, and they did get touched a little bit. There's a little bit of growth coming out of them. I guess we'll see what happens. These are planted 3 or 4 to a cell, and these are going to be grown up, and if they're really thick we'll pull them out for green onions, and then if not we'll let them grow into bulb onions. But there's that bed. It's looking pretty good. It didn't really settle that much, and I'll be probably planting lettuce into this later tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow's supposed to be in the 60s, so I'll probably plant some lettuce. The lows isn't supposed to get to freezing for several days, so hopefully we can keep these covers off. So this is what I call the fence bed for obvious reasons against the fence. You can see I have some peas along the left side. There's a couple green onions and some lettuce transplants in here that were extra from the beds down below. I did sacrifice this. I took the tarp off this, cut it in half, and put it over the beets and pak choi bed. It was probably a mistake compared to what happened down there, but you can see the peas are a little damaged here. Looks like they're growing out of it a little bit. The lettuces are doing fine. The green onions are doing fine. I do have more peas planted if they don't make it. We'll put those in, but I think they might grow out of it. As bad as they look, they just might grow out of it. This is bed 1. It contains all radishes. The tomatoes are going to go down the middle eventually. The radishes I thought were pretty beat up when I was peeking underneath them. Some of them down here looks like they got a little whipped with the tarp. I did put these rocks in here so that the tarp wouldn't lay on them tight. Looks like they made it through the frost. They're a little yellow. Again, they just need some heat and light. We'll see what happens. These aren't a total loss yet, but we'll see. These are planted in clumps of 3 and 4, these radishes. So there's French breakfast radishes and Valentine's radishes, which is a multicolored mix. We swapped viewing angles on you now. We're looking west. This area here has a bunch of lettuce seedlings in it, and I planted them pretty dang dense in some spots. And some green onions interplanted to see how well they do. Then we have some green leaf lettuce, which is looking pretty good in the centers. The outside leaves did get a little bit burned. We'll trim them up tomorrow when it's warmer. The red leaf lettuce is looking really good in the centers. That really made it through the frost pretty well. There's a couple older leaves that are hurt that we can clip off. This is broccoli rabe. It's I guess it's green in the middle. We'll see how it goes. These are green onion clumps. They did get a little burned on the edges where they got touched, so we'll have to see how well they do growing out of it. And the spinach. And for some reason the cotyledons have definitely died off. They're brown, and actually I'm getting some bloom on here. I don't know what that's all about. I'll have to figure it out. I'll come in tomorrow and trim these up, get them a little bit greener. Hopefully the spinach will take off here with a little bit of heat and some rain. It is nice and moist underneath, so I'm not worried about it. And I have plenty more of all these planted ahead in case they don't make it. This is bed 3. The first part is carrot seeds. I haven't seen any germinate yet. Obviously, they take a while. And then we get into some beets and beet greens, some chards, more beets. pak choy, and some dinosaur kale. So we'll start back here with the dinosaur kale. It looks hurt really bad. I've got more started. Again, we'll just see if it grows out. Just wait a week and transplant if they don't. The pak choy actually looks like it might grow all right. There's some damaged leaves, but for the most part it's pretty green. But the chard, the rainbow chard, the red chard, and the beets, they just don't look very good at all, and probably have to replace them. I have a few that are ready to go. Maybe I'll put them down here in bed 4 and then see if these go, not replace those, but they definitely did not like the 18 degrees. So my impressions so far, I probably jumped the gun. I sort of knew that. I wasn't planning on putting plants in the ground until April 17th, and I put them in way earlier than that. The lettuces will probably do all right. I might even gain on those. The spinach is, we'll see. The radishes might be all right, and as far as the beets and stuff, they didn't get hardened off enough before we got to 18 degrees, and even through the fleece. And I only did a single layer of fleece. Just wasn't enough to really protect them. I have more plants going. It's not like I lost. I wasn't going to plant to the 17th anyways. And if I wanted to plant on the 17th with the forecast that occurred at that time, I wouldn't have planted. It was getting way too cold. So I probably wouldn't even have started until this weekend. So, you know, here's the test, right? We had some of these plants in. Some of them, the lettuces are definitely established. The spinach maybe, the radishes maybe. We'll see how well they do compared to the ones I put in this weekend to see if putting them in early did get them an advantage to root and they'll produce quicker than the ones that I'm going to put in this week. So it's all a test. This is what this is all about. It's just to see what I can do, what I can get away with. Our last frost is generally the first or second week in May, and that's still at a 10 or 20% probability. Maybe it's even a 30%, I'm not sure. I mean, we've had snow here on Mother's Day, so it's not uncommon to be cold way into May. But it is what it is, and we'll just replace the plants that don't make it and go on from there. This weekend, I do plan on putting some lettuces, and maybe if I have some beets and chard ready, I'll put those down in bed 4. And then I do have a small little mini bed over here where I had the leftover county compost that I'm going to put in potatoes. We'll see. We'll see how many potatoes we got. I got some questions on seed potatoes for some of you, and we'll get into that in tomorrow's video if I make it on just planting potatoes and compost. It's just a question I want to see if anyone has any ideas about. But that's the garden update for the week, ending on today, the April 24th. Again, it's all test. We'll see how it goes. But the main thing is that I was out and I just planted. We got them going, and if I gain on it, great. If I don't, nothing really lost except a little bit of seed. It's not like I didn't have the system set up for the microgreens and the lights ready. It was really no extra except for the seeds and the soil. The soil is going to improve using it in here anyways. So we'll see how it goes. But you guys have a great week. I hope you're getting your gardens in, or at least getting your transplants in. I know some down south are actually harvesting already, and I see things like Never Sink Farms, which is in the Catskills and under the hoop houses. You know, he's picking pulling radishes and picking other plants and salad greens already. So greenhouses definitely help. Maybe on the next video I'll go over why I didn't put hoop structures up underneath the fleece here this year. But thank you for watching. Have a great day.